Hi, this is Julian for Production Expert, and I've been playing with Solid from UJAM. This is a virtual drummer instrument, and I've used these before, but this one's really got my attention because it's so simple. I've spent very little time with this, and I feel like I know it already, and that's not to the detriment of the results. Like this. Easy. So looking around the UI, what we've got is we've got pretty standard fare in terms of we've got a couple of octaves of patterns, sections of songs, we've got verses, intros, fills, etc. If we go down a couple of octaves, we've got access to the individual instruments, like so. There are two sections underneath that. We've got the kit, which comes in 5 flavours: natural, deep, soft, tight and hard. We've got a slam control, which is like a global compression setting, which works really well. And if we take the left-hand side, the drum kit side as being what the drummer sees, we've got the character side, which is what the engineer does. So here we've got 6 different preset sounds, if you like. They're a combination of processing and of space. So, for example, big sounds very big, as you'd imagine, and clearly the space it's recorded in is very different to retro or smooth. We've got some really flexible controls, humanize and feel. I particularly like feel. It gives the ability, as the control indicates, to lay back or dig into the beats, and that's really nice. And this underlines the ethos behind this, which is keep it simple, don't get too technical, and it's as close as I've ever come to having a drummer that you can ask to play and they sort out the playing. I've been very spoilt in my past experience of working with some great drummers, and I don't like drum programming, and this takes some of this away and gives more of that impression of working with a musician. You tell them what you want and they provide it with direction from you. So we have presets, which are complete settings for the instrument, so character and drum kit and pattern and all of that stuff. But within that, we've got styles, so we can change around within here. And two things I'm really pleased to see is that the drumming isn't too complex, too elaborate. It's a criticism I've had of some drum instruments I've used in the past, is they've just been too drummery. And if I've been working with a drummer, I'd have been saying to them, calm down, play for the song, less of the fancy stuff, please. And this provides it. The other thing this provides is some stuff that's outside of 4/4, which is really nice, not having to do a cut and shut job on a 4/4 pattern to make it fit, for example. I mean, we've got 7/8 if we want to get weird. However, we've got things like 3/4, for example. So for playing, the main control that I've had to attend to before I start anything is latch. I prefer to play in latch. We can switch it on and off. This isn't global. This doesn't persist between settings. But once we've got a latched setting, it's a matter of playing as you want to through these different sections. We've got 5 different verse sections, different chorus sections. Going up the scale, they become increasingly complex. And it's really easy to get really usable results quickly. So I'll set up an example quickly. I think I'm going to go with retro because I really like the sound of that, and I'll go with a deep kit. I'll turn up some slam if we listen to what that does. Too much. Round about here is quite nice. In terms of the processing, if we do some quick comparisons, big's very big indeed. Edge, very aggressive. Smooth's kind of slightly scoops, very warm, not going to get in anyone's way. I'm going to go back to retro. I like that. Maybe not too much. I'm going to loosen things up a little. Maybe not quite as much as that. And I'm going to give it a push. Balancing up the sound, I'm going to pull the reverb back and I'm going to maybe bring up the room a little. That's nice. And we'll just put in some sections and string them together so that we get an impression of what this is like in use. So, and as we're still in this 7/8 pattern, I think we'll drop out and do something. I think we'll go soaker actually. That could be fun. And there we have it. It really couldn't be simpler. So what do I think of Solid? I think it gives you just enough control, which is what I want. I don't like drum programming. Not everybody does. If you really want to get into the tiniest details, there are alternatives available for you. But if, like me, you just want to get on with some playing and leave the drumming to someone else, as it were, this is fantastic. As I said, the results aren't too drummery. They're complex enough, but they're not overly busy. And you certainly don't give the impression of working with a drummer who's trying to show off or impress you in any way. You can wind stuff back, and you've got alternatives to choose from in the verse and the chorus and things in terms of complexity. Going up the scale is more complex. Going down the scale is simpler. The sounds are great. I really like the character section. I'm settling around retro, actually. Smooth is good, and Crush is a lot of fun. I really like the character section and the way it all comes together, but I'm particularly impressed with the humanize and feel controls, which really help the drums either lay back or dig into the beat. Nice to see some non-4/4 content. That's always good to see. In terms of cons, the only thing that I kept coming back to was that I would have preferred it if the latch parameter persisted. It was like a preference you could set up so that it was always in latch, because if you prefer to work in latch, you have to switch it on every time. But apart from that, I've really enjoyed Solid. It gives just enough control for me to get on with the job and not to worry too much about what the drummer's doing. I just want to set something up and say, play something like that. And all the tools I need to do that are exactly here. Because of that, I'm going to award this an Expert's Choice Award. I've been Julian. I'll see you next time.